Welcome to TEC Talk Live, a resource produced by Vision Forward. Low vision and blindness technology, tips, tricks, and information presented in a way that makes sense. And now, here are your hosts, Cory and Luke.
Good day, everybody, and welcome back to Technical Talk Live, where we talk about technical matters in a live manner. I am your host, Luke, and I am joined by my co-host,
Technical Ted.
Technical Ted. That's actually a great name for a show.
Tech Ted.
Tech Ted. I don't know why I introduced myself as the host, because we're a democracy here, and we are both co-hosts.
That is true.
Yes.
We one cannot be without the other.
Exactly. We're like
Amos and Andy.
Thank you. I don't know who they are, but yes, we're like them. We're like
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate. Hope everybody is having a lovely day today. It seems like summer has finally come, at least here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I think so.
Yeah, so we're actually rocking up toward the 90 degrees today. My cat,
Is it really?
Apparently so.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
My cat
Really?
is outside, so hopefully he's enjoying the weather. But don't worry, because we have left the door to the garage open. And the thing about my garage is that last year I took upon myself a project to paint some drywall in there, because we have a workshop on the side of the garage, which the previous owner used to make things and be creative. Now, what I did instead was paint it and put a sofa and a TV in there. So there you go, that's me. But
so you watch other people being creative.
Exactly. Yeah,
on
exactly.
the TV. Okay,
Perfect.
I got it.
So yeah, the cat has got a nice place to hang out there, and of course some water and some biscuits. Cory, how are you enjoying this nice weather?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We have somebody's at our house right now putting together a trampoline for the kids. So they'll
Well,
be
you say
excited.
it's for the kids, but I'm not 100% sure that's
I'm going
accurate.
to go on it too.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about it. It does have a safety net, but we'll see how strong that safety net is when I jump off the side. Of it and not realize. So maybe an upcoming Tech Talk Live will be how to jump on a trampoline without killing yourself.
That would actually be a great show. And we could have a GoPro on, and that way we'd get the jumping motion, get an idea.
I wonder if I could use how can I use technology to make sure I'm not too close to the edge?
Well, you know what? I mean, you could tie that in with one of the other shows that we had hoped to do, which was on the strap. Technology's strap, which for those of you who are not familiar with the strap, it is a thing that you strap on your body, and it gives you haptic feedback to let you know whether you're about to crash into something. So, I mean, this is the perfect testing ground for that type of tech, I would say.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, here's a big test. The net, which is supposed to keep you safe, is like a mesh framework, right?
Yep.
So would a haptic feedback device be able to detect it? It's the ultimate test. Yeah.
I'm going to try it either way, so I might as well do it for the good of the show.
There you go.
Because it'll probably be the last time I do anything.
Next show, you will be in a wheelchair. That'll be fine. Cool. Well, yes, it is Thursday, as you might have gathered, and it is May the 12th, so we are trucking on through the year pretty quickly. Yeah. And we have an action-packed show for you today because we are going to be looking at the Google Lookout app, which is an app from Google, in case you hadn't guessed that. And it is for Android phones. I'm pretty sure they opened it up, because it used to be just for the Pixel phones. But then at some point they opened it up to other phones. And I don't know at this point if it's just opened up to any phone, as long as the phone has got the ability to run it. I certainly haven't had any trouble installing it on any phones that I've tried to install it on, but I only tried to install it on one phone, so that's not the greatest test in the world.
It is 100%.
It's 100% success rate so far.
Very good. And I also have installed it on one phone with no problem.
Except yours was a Pixel phone. So
it was.
yours was compatible from the very start. Anyway, you can look it up on the App Store, or on the Play Store, should I say, and try to download that and see if it works on your Android phone.
We'll talk about it today.
But not only does Lookout come on Android phones, it also comes on the Blindshell Classic 2 phone. Now, regular watchers of the show will be aware of this phone, because we did demonstrate the Blindshell Classic 2 on one of our previous shows. And it's a pretty neat Android-based, simple device which has buttons, so it has a numerical keypad and a simplified menu, and it's designed for people who struggle with smartphones. Gives a bit more of a simplified interface and obviously that tactile feedback. But it also does give access to certain apps, and that app roster is increasing all the time.
Yeah, I just popped in there to download the Lookout app on this Blindshell Classic 2 and came across, I saw an Audible app now, I saw a podcasting app.
Yeah, exactly, So it's getting more and more capable, and of course all of those apps are adapted to work with the Blindshell Classic interface, so they are very simplified in terms of kind of getting around the apps. Now, for power users, that makes them pretty frustrating because it's a lot slower to get around, but for people who need something simple, it does the job. And one of the apps that the Blindshell Classic 2 has is the Lookout app, and I used it with a client recently, and it actually worked surprisingly well. So we're going to look at see how that works on there, and then if we get round to it, we will also be comparing Lookout to a couple of other popular Android apps which have similar features, those being the SuperSense and remind me of the other one?
Envision AI.
Thank you.
And we've
AI
demoed
apps.
both in previous kind of ways. We had, oh, now I'm having a brain freeze. We had the gentleman from, why can I think of his name? I want to say Rob, but I know that's not right.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad now. Sean.
Thank you.
Sean.
Well remembered.
Yeah, we had Sean on from SuperSense, and we had a great conversation. So we've talked in demo, but they are similar to Lookout. So we'll
I wanted to compare them just to see, like, you know, if we take the same, because one of the functions of all these apps is OCR, right? If we take the same sheet of paper and the same. Here we go, thank you, prop, excellent. If we take the same sheet of paper and 3 different apps and do a very scientific test and see 2 things. Number 1, which one seems to have the superior OCR engine? Number 2, which one seems to be the easiest in terms of actually getting the phone aligned with the page?
And I would add a third on there. Which one does Cory know how to use?
Well, we already know that that's none of them, so that's fine, that's fine. Yes, Cory is feeling a little underprepared today. Now, he did offer to take the reins for this one, but also he's not a big Android user, so if he stumbles at any point, then please forgive him.
But, you know, I think, anyways.
Yeah, I think it's going to go perfectly.
It's going to go great.
Exactly, especially because we all know when you do things live, they always work perfectly. It's a well-known fact. So anyway, that is that,
joke?
I guess. Yes, well, we do have our joke, of course. I was just thinking if we had anything else to say. I was going to tell people the exciting story about the new bed that I acquired recently. And the new mattress. Well, it's not really an exciting story. It's just about how I just got a new bed.
Got one? Okay.
That's the whole story. But the mattress is very interesting. And I actually found out recently after getting the mattress, actually a couple of days later, that Cory has the same brand of mattress. And I did not know that before buying it. But,
I think you might have gotten maybe a newer one or a little different model. I never looked at my receipt, but we are loving our.
I got a different model, yeah.
And when that company decides to sponsor this, we'll let you know what that brand was.
It's going to be difficult for them, though, because they don't know that we're talking about them, because we're not saying their names.
Well, we'll say that they are a color.
They are a color, yes.
If that color brand wants to support us,
yes. Please write in to We Want Your Money.
Most people sleep while they listen to the Tech Talk Live. So there's definitely a connection.
Yeah. I like it. Yes, but anyway, maybe we'll save that story for another day. So it is our customary joke time. Now, we only have one joke. No, we don't. We only have one person who is giving us jokes at the moment. Now, there are numerous jokes from that person.
Okay.
But we only have one person. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not sure what happened to our usual roster of joke tellers.
Crew? Yeah, maybe they didn't come across anything good this week.
No, maybe not. But luckily, we have a brilliant joke. It's probably the best one you've ever heard. And also, Jason has hit us up with a number of jokes here.
Good.
Jason is one of the finest joke tellers in the land.
Yes, he's known for.
Let's get through some of these, and Cory, reactions at the ready, please.
Oh, yes.
By the way, soon we're hoping to have a variety of other sound effects for your enjoyment.
Some upgrading here soon.
We're hoping to do some upgrading, so please get excited for that.
For those on YouTube Live, you may notice an increase in quality.
Yeah, hopefully for those watching on YouTube, we're a little bit clearer than we have been in the past.
Yeah. Visually, not what we're saying.
No, what we're saying is probably worse than ever, but visually, hopefully we're a little bit better. And also, though, I forgot to say, we're still not watching chats in YouTube, but hopefully, like at some point in the near future, we will actually be watching the chat.
We should have a solution for that soon.
Yes, fingers crossed. All right, here we go for some jokes. From Jason, number one.
Yes.
Cory, what do you call a pea who woke up on the wrong side of the bed?
No, the pod.
How would you feel if you woke up on the wrong side of bed?
I don't. My wife would be upset.
Okay, so what would that be? Another word for being upset would be
mad.
Oh, the answer is grumpy.
I'm sorry, Jason. Not bad. It's a grumpy.
Grumpy.
Okay. I like it. That sounds pretty good.
I've heard worse.
Yeah.
Why did the student eat her exam? It's a good question.
Why did the exam?
Very good question.
Because it was. I don't know.
The teacher told her it was a piece of cake. Okay, and finally, let's choose one here. Okay, this one's not bad.
Okay.
Why did the dieter go to the paint store?
For thinner.
All right. Brilliant. One of each. And from Kenneth here, thank you, Kenneth. How do trees access the internet? I feel like we've had this one before on the show. How do trees access the internet?
Leaves, roots, branches.
Oh, you're getting closer.
Bark.
You're getting closer.
I don't know.
They log in.
Oh, that's very good.
Thank you, everybody. That was some really terrible jokes. Truly terrible.
Just perfect.
Jokes. I would suggest maybe in the future when people put jokes in, put the joke in but not the answer until we've read out the joke, just to keep those people who are cited in suspense as well. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult, but maybe we should aim for that to keep everybody in suspense, including ourselves.
Yeah.
And our own joke of the day, which obviously is going to be way superior to these efforts.
Well, we did a lot of research.
Our joke is this. Cory, do you know why... no, let me start that again. Cory, do you know what Batman said to Robin before they got into the Batmobile?
No.
Anybody have any idea? What did Batman say to Robin before they got in the Batmobile? He must have said something very important, you would imagine. Batman, he's got crime to fight.
He does. He doesn't have time to waste and crime to fight.
He's got not messing around, and sometimes Robin needs a little bit of direction. He's a younger guy.
Yes.
You know, he needs a bit of mentorship.
Gets distracted easily.
Yeah. His spandex may be a little tight, you know.
Can't hear as well.
Say.
I guess, yeah. Okay.
Okay. The answer is, he said, get in the Batmobile.
That's a good one.
It was terrible.
Get in the...
All right, everybody. Well, with that out of the way, it's time for the show, the real show to begin. So, Cory, look out.
Look out!
Look out. Let's start taking a look. Now, we're going to begin with it here on the Pixel phone. So, Cory, take it away.
So today we're not gonna really have a visual of the screen. We're gonna do everything via TalkBack. Versus having anything visual, because there's just not a whole lot. Most of the time you're just going to see a live camera view of what the camera's seeing, so we're just going to focus on what audio feedback we get. So for anybody that may not be familiar with what Google Lookout is, if you are familiar with Seeing AI on the iPhone, which most of us probably are, it's been one of the biggest apps and talked about, but it's, again, specific for iPhone. Google Lookout is sort of Google's answer to Seeing AI. It's going to offer us a number of different features, all based around the camera on our device. And we're going to look at those for today. So we have Explore, which is going to allow us to look around our environment. We have Text, which is going to allow us to do sort of that short text or quick reading function. We have Document, where we can take a picture of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and perform OCR on it. We have Food, I think I said 4. There's actually 5.
Oh,
Anyways,
never mind.
there's food.
If you hadn't pointed it out, nobody would have known.
I know, I shouldn't have done that. Food, which does pretty kind of interesting, and we'll talk about how food uses the camera to identify the item in front of it. And then we also have currency, so we can use it as a money identifier.
I do think it's interesting how this app and the Seeing AI are both made by big tech companies who are not focused on accessibility as their primary concern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the resources to create apps like this much more than smaller companies would.
Sure.
But I just kind of find it interesting and cool that they have both kind of made an app with similar features. You know?
Yeah, I think both companies have sort of like I don't want to say developer lab, but they sort of have this, track where people from the company can kind of come up with this really cool stuff. And I think Seeing AI was a product of that. Soundscape was from Microsoft, and then Google sort of has their lab where they're sort of coming up with, and I often think, as a side note too, a lot of this technology that is in Google Lookout was probably pulled from the camera app itself. The camera app itself is doing a crazy amount of AI and identification in pictures, and you can take a picture and it'll automatically identify people for you and sort them in groups, and so I think people, I think they're able to pull a lot of that technology out and then sort of make it specific for
So what you're
people's
saying
visual
was,
impairment.
this app was super easy to develop. So easy.
A weekend. That's the most.
At most. Yeah.
So the visual layout and navigation layout for a TalkBack user is very similar to kind of a standard app layout. You've got your tabs or your main options going across the bottom of the screen, going left to right. So we can choose what option we want. We're going to start with Explore. Now, one of the cool things that Google Lookout does, and Seeing AI does this as well, is when you first kind of launch that option, it will give us a quick little kind of summary or a little description of what that feature does. And I've left those on so we can take a look at them. So we're going to touch in the bottom left corner and we should find Explore.
Food labels.
If I did it
Text. Food label. Explore. Beta.
So we're going to go ahead and touch Explore.
Beta. Lookout. Explore mode. Beta. Out of list.
And I'm just going to use my swipe gesture, and we're going to go take a look a little bit at what this description is.
I will just point out, it did say Explore mode beta, so this is obviously still in development here.
And I most of these companies, even with Seeing AI, with their Scene, they tend to keep these in beta, and I think it's probably because it's always constantly evolving, right? Being able to identify things in your environment.
I kind of wonder whether there may be liability issues
It might also be. Yeah. So let's swipe right and let's see if we can find a little description about this category.
Scan around you and Lookout describes the area, people, text, and objects. Having trouble? Move your device slowly or hold still.
Okay. Well, which one is it? Having trouble, move it slowly or stand still. So we get a little description of what it does. I'm going to keep swiping.
Not checked. Don't show this again. Checkbox.
So
Double
if you
tap to
become pretty familiar with the app, you can check this box so that this little pop-up doesn't come up any longer.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and tap OK.
Lookout Explore mode.
Now,
Help.
I'm in Explore mode,
Double
but
tap
I
to
do
activate.
have the camera turned off right now. So there is on the screen, once you're in the mode you want to be, we can swipe to the right and find a camera on, camera off button. So that can be nice to save a little bit if you're not currently using the app. Like I had the app open and ready for us, but I didn't want the camera constantly searching and it trying to identify basically the blank table. So I turned the camera off. So I'm going to swipe right and see if we can find that button to turn the camera back on. Then we'll take a look and see what Explore does for us.
Change language.
Now, before I turn the camera on, I should mention this. We have a change language button. And Google Lookout does come in, man, like you said, there was probably over 2 pages of different languages, from Hindi to Czech, German, Spanish, Italian, Dutch, Finnish, there's all, I can't even name all of them.
That was a lot.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and change the language. If you're not a native English speaker or prefer a different language, you can go ahead and change it by tapping here.
Signed in as Cory Ballard CNOC78
I'm
gmail.com.
signed in right now, so I'm going to go ahead and keep swipe right.
Turn camera on button.
There we go. Now we have our
Double
turn
tap to
camera
activate.
on button. So I'm going to go ahead and double tap.
Turn camera off.
Good.
Button.
Now
This
we've
double
got
tap
the
to activate.
camera
Text
on.
environment. See firsthand the as. Text, S to use
Thank
computers.
you.
Right.
It was seeing some
Watch.
text. So now as I move my camera around, I've got to just point it down at a blank table right now, but as I lift my camera up, and it is using the camera on the back of my phone, so as I lift the back of my phone facing away from me and point it out into my environment, it will start to speak out anything that it identifies. And as it said in the description and the little pointers, you do want to
Computer
move
keyboard.
slow. Because the faster you move, it's going to have a hard time, A, recognizing, and B, when it does, by the time it speaks it, you're no longer even pointing at it anymore. So we're just going to kind of turn to the right. I'm going to point
Tableware.
it.
Laptop.
Let's see our laptop over
Laptop
here.
with text.
Correct.
With text.
Tripod.
Correct.
Oh, it's the tripod for the
correct.
camera. So now we'll come towards the window. Up there,
Window,
it's all the
correct.
window.
Text, Oni. Desk, calculator.
Calculator.
Saw a calculator way over there.
I don't think there's a calculator
I think
there.
maybe saw
Two
it,
desks.
our Zoom P4, maybe it kind of looks like one.
Oh.
So I'm going to keep turning.
Furniture.
Ooh.
Text, knowledgeability. Can package goods. Text, possibility.
If you
text,
can tell,
create.
on
text,
our back
possibility.
wall here, it says
text,
technology
possibility.
creates
Shadow.
possibility.
Computer
So it's
monitor.
saying text.
create. Furniture.
And then it's
2 desks,
saying what the
3
text
desks,
says, too.
4 desks, 2
4
chairs.
desks, 2 chairs.
Lighting.
Lighting.
Text, possibility. 3 chairs.
So I'm just gonna move
5
it
chairs. 4 chairs. 4 chairs.
Well, make it your
4
decision. How many
furnitures,
chairs are there?
television.
There's a lot of
Recent.
chairs
For
by the
turn
sound
camera
of it.
So I'm gonna
off.
go
Desk.
ahead and
Turn camera on.
Turn
Button.
the camera off. Now,
Double
so
tap to
a lot of
activate.
cool things here. First of all, it's pretty accurate. I mean,
Yeah,
it did a
I
very
was
good job. Oh wait, I
surprised
want
at how accurate it
one
was.
more here. I want to do. Let's turn the camera back on.
Turn camera off. Button. Glasses. Double tap to activate.
Glasses.
Person. Necklace.
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 Wearing a necklace.
Not that, I know.
Display
I think
device.
that's my headphones
Recent.
I've got.
Turn
And
camera
then it's
on.
display
Turn
device,
camera on.
the
Button.
TV
Double
on the
tap
wall
to
behind
activate.
you. So it does a very good job, and it's quite accurate on seeing things in your environment. So we saw person, glasses. We heard all about the desks and the chairs, and then again, as it saw any text, it'll say text. And then actually read whatever text it sees.
I'm actually surprised about some of the things it identified there, especially tripod.
Yeah.
Like, it seems amazing to me that was one of the objects that they made it
put
able
into
to
the
identify.
library. Yeah.
Tripod.
Yeah, that is very now.
Yeah.
So cool, but now let's talk about like what is the use case. So
Yes.
okay, on the surface that looks really cool, wow, fun, you get to go around. But in real world, what good is this app? Well, first let's realize that in this case, at least for the Google Lookout app here, it's not giving us distances. So we know it's in front of us, a window or a desk or a chair, but we don't really know exactly how far away that is. Right. But still getting the information that a chair is in front of you is important because you're at least getting the direction of where it's gonna, where it is in relation
Here's
to.
the thing, though. So some of the stuff it was identifying was not necessarily directly in front of you. It might have been, between, let's say, 9 and 3 o'clock.
Kind of the yeah.
So, I mean, it's still useful, don't get me wrong, but in a video that I watched of it, which I will give a shout out to Sam from The Blind Life, because it was his video. Now, that was actually from a couple of years ago, and they have updated the app since then. But in that video, it would give clock face directions. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly what changed there.
Or maybe it's something you have to enable in the settings. I just didn't pop in and look at everything. So maybe. And I think though, as you walk closer, your field of vision, your field of view is going to start to shrink,
yes,
if that makes sense. Yeah. So if it keeps saying chair, then you're kind of going straight on with it. Mm-hmm. So the big question is how could this be used in real world? Where could this be beneficial? Well, for my mind, I can think of 2 specifics. Mm-hmm. Number 1, walking into a room and being able to sort of scan and find chair, I think could be very important. Mm-hmm. The other thing that's kind of cool about Lookout is since it does person as well, that you could get it. Now, it's not going to say person sitting in chair, but you can sort of logically put together if it says chair, person, neck kind of close to it, that there may be a good chance that somebody is sitting in that chair
or
already.
It could be a person shaped like a chair.
It could, or a chair shaped like
a person.
Yeah, you just never know. So that's one example I think that could be quite beneficial. The other one for me is identifying doors. If you are in a room and you're not sure where the doorway is, or for whatever reason got yourself turned around, can't remember the door you came in on, being able to kind of quickly scan your 4 walls to find doorways can also be quite convenient. And then as you're sort of moving towards it, you can kind of keep that lined up and make sure you're getting to the door you're looking for.
I wonder whether it would be useful in a bathroom situation.
Sure, sink, toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's when you walk into an unfamiliar.
Or even urinal.
Yeah, when you walk into an unfamiliar restroom, that can be a difficult time sometimes. Now, I probably wouldn't use it in a public bathroom where it's more than one person, multiple urinals, multiple stalls.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd feel so comfortable standing there with my camera moving it around.
That aspect, but that's a good point.
But maybe coming into a single bathroom, or if there's no one else in the bathroom. But hey, You do you. Everyone, you do you. If you want to do it, go for it.
The follow-up to this show is going to be us traveling around to various public restrooms, and I'm going to send Cory in, and we're going to record him.
See what happens.
See what happens.
Come out with a black eye. So I do think there are absolutely opportunities in real world to make this explore your environment beneficial.
Yeah.
But again, it's keeping your expectations clear.
Definitely.
And realizing, like anything, and this is true for really any technology that assists you in mobility, it's never a replacement for your mobility skills or whichever mobility tool you're using, cane, dog guide. But it's a good way to augment them, but it's definitely not a replacement.
Let's face it, this technology will get better in the future as well. So you can get in at the ground floor now, and you're going to get a bit of useful information. But in the future, I think you'll probably get a lot more detailed and accurate information.
As LiDAR continues to grow, you're now starting to get distances.
Yep.
Now that's going to make a big difference. Chair 12 feet, door 20 feet. Now that's going to start to make a bigger.
If you combine this with smart glasses, again, improved functionality. Now you're hands free, and everywhere you look, you're going to hear what's there. So I think there's good potential for the future. Sure.
So that's an example of what the Explore environment feature looks like. So let's move ourselves back down to our main tab list across the bottom.
Let me just say before we do that, Jolisa, if you just keep on watching, then we're going to go through all of the different features. So the only one that we've done so far is the Explore mode, but we will be moving through the other features as well.
Perfect. So next on our list,
recent button selected, Explore. Food labels, beta, 2 of 5.
Also a beta.
Double tap
so
to
we'll go ahead and
activate.
double tap and learn what
Food
this
labels,
is about.
Beta, lookout. Food labels, beta,
here.
out of list. Scan barcodes or labels and lookout finds the item. Having trouble? Hold the item in front of your camera and slowly rotate it.
Okay.
Can I talk about that for a second?
I would love, because I know you want to.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's pretty cool.
I didn't realize before I started using this app that its product identification was not just your standard barcode scanning. Nothing wrong with standard barcode scanning, but the trouble is trying to find a barcode can be a bit of a problem. And trying to do OCR on product labels isn't the best because they're usually in a format that OCR doesn't really work well with. But with this Google Lookout app, not only can it do the barcodes, but it also can recognize labels themselves. So not doing OCR, but just actually recognizing like a product's label and then comparing it to a database. I just thought that was a really neat feature. And from what I only use it limited in a limited way, but it seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when back years and years ago when the app TapTapC came out. It was sort of innovative, and that's one of the things it did is it. Was it TapTapC or was it VizWiz? Now I can't remember. Anyways, one of its features was taking a picture and then comparing it against a database. And that's sort of, if you think about it, that's exactly what the environment was that we just did.
Yeah, no, that's
it's basically taking what it sees and comparing it against a database of images, and when there's enough points of comparison or confirmation points, then it says, "Hip, this is what it is."
It's pretty amazing though, because you can come at it from all sorts of different angles, and it's still able to find enough of those points that match its database.
Yeah,
I have no idea how they do it, but it's pretty.
And
cool.
it really makes it really increases the usability, because one of the issues with barcodes, two things. Number one, finding a barcode when you are blind or visually impaired can be very difficult. You know, you can usually get a sort of an idea of maybe where it would be, but we're going to actually do an example here on a soda can, and that you just have no idea. I mean, you know it's probably on the bottom, but which side? The other issue is that when you're using barcodes with a phone camera, it is very different than when you use it with a omnidirectional barcode scanner. Omnidirectional, you can get it pointing on almost any angle and it's going to trigger and be super accurate. With the phone camera, you really got to have almost 100% of that barcode in the viewfinder of that camera. So it's a lot more difficult to line it up and get that shot. So being able to also use labels then it just increases the accuracy and the usability.
And of course, they don't make the ID Mate line anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, are there any omnidirectional, like portable scanners left?
No, it's just computer based is your only option now.
Yeah,
but
and you're not going to take your laptop to the store and start plugging your scanner and
backpack solution. And
I guess there's a way.
Spot and, seems a little overkill, but
it's easy.
All right, I've got a can of soda here, and we're going to find out what it is. So we're going to swipe and do our OK to get out of our little
OK button.
Go, and then remember I do need to turn my camera back on because I did turn it off before.
Change country. Signed in as Cory. Turn camera on.
There we go. We'll double tap.
Turn camera off.
Okay.
Button.
So I'm going to take my can of soda here, and I'm just going to point it.
Diet Pepsi Soda Cola 12 FL Oz can.
So got it right off the bat. Now the question is, Luke, by you looking
no product
here,
in view.
You've got the barcode there.
It is
first time
no product in view.
Because now, if you listen.
Diet Pepsi Soda Cola 12 FL Oz can.
We got 12, so it's not only telling us what it is, but it also is giving us a
product not
12
recognized.
fluid
Try
ounces.
rotating it to other sides.
Is there a? Can I spin it? Can
no
we get the label without
right there.
right here?
Yeah,
okay, so now
no
we're not doing a barcode.
Come on, baby. Don't
product not recognized. No! Try rotating it to other sides.
Okay, try rotating. Keep on going.
Diet Pepsi.
Oh!
There, got it. Diet Pepsi. Now this time you hear though. Let's see if it'll do it again. Let's spin it.
Product not recognized. Try rotating it to other sides.
I probably won't do it. Maybe I want to.
Product Pepsi Diet Cola.
There it goes. Pepsi Diet Cola. So this time it's not. You can kind of tell.
In low light. Flashlight Indes Organics 100. Signed in as Cory Ballards. Turn camera on. Turn camera on. But
we can tell that it was in that case that it wasn't getting the barcode because we didn't get that 12 fluid ounces.
Yes.
So obviously that 12 fluid ounces was part of the barcode as it's scanning it in, purchasing it. But then when we got just the label itself, we got Diet Pepsi. Now, obviously, in most cases, we don't really care about. We just care about what kind of soda it is.
You can tell it's 12 fluid ounces.
Exactly, exactly.
But here's the thing, right? So it didn't recognize the side of the label, which is where I had you pointing at first, the side of the label. So it was recognizing the front of the label, but literally, like when it recognized it, it was only seeing half of the front of the label.
Okay.
All right. So even that, that small amount was good enough for it to identify.
Yeah, that's interesting. So this is a perfect example where having both the barcode and the label gave us two opportunities. Well, because if we wouldn't have had the label. Now, it was a bad example because I hit the barcode straight up first time.
That was very impressive, I have to say.
But if we wouldn't have done it, we would have had to keep spinning, where in this case, we had two hit points, two opportunities for it to identify.
And I kind of wonder with boxes, I don't know, but I wonder with box products, whether it will identify the back as well as the front. I
suppose depends. I think depends what the logo, how much distinct.
Well, it depends on how it's recognizing those products. I honestly don't know. Is it the logo? Is it like specifically the label?
I wonder if it's doing a image comparison of the logo.
It could be,
but also doing OCR on any text that it sees.
I think it's interesting actually because it can't just be the logo because your Diet Pepsi can has just got the generic Pepsi logo on the front of it. But it was able to identify it as Diet Pepsi.
Was there text that said Diet Pepsi
there was on the side, but I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know. Got it. Unless maybe Diet Pepsi has a different logo?
Different color can. Possibly.
Oh, maybe that was, yeah, maybe
anybody
it was,
knows what makes Diet Pepsi stand out in terms of the can
Well, it's
compared to other
taste.
Well, obviously. Obviously. I mean, come on. Yeah, but it's anyway, however it works, it's pretty darn cool. And, you know, sometimes you will have unrecognized products, and that's just going to be the case. But it definitely could be a useful tool when you're out shopping.
Yeah, and in this case, we used a round option because typically I find the round products to be even harder. Yeah. So we wanted to find something very difficult to do.
Put Cory through his paces.
Yes. Well, more the phone than anything. All right, so that is our food or label identification. So now let's move on to
Explore. Selected.
Let's see what our next
text
one is.
mode
Text.
3 of 5.
Now, it's not
Double
beta.
tap to
Look at
activate.
that. So text is going to be like our short text, our quick read function. Any text that the camera sees, it will automatically just start reading it out. It's not performing OCR in a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We don't have the we can't move word by word or anything like that. Just whatever text it sees, it's going to start reading out loud. So we'll tap text here.
Selected. Lookout text
We'll
mode.
check out what our little pointer is here.
Documents. Mode 4 of 5.
Come back up here.
Currency. Mode.
I think we don't think we have our pointer.
Text. Documents. Mode. Selected.
Oh, no, it did
text.
text.
Mode. Food.
Yeah, I think
Explore.
you must have got rid of it at some
Yeah,
point.
that's
Recent.
weird. I don't remember
Button.
doing that.
Turn camera on.
That's
Wait,
right.
but you explain what it is anyway.
Double
Yeah,
tap to
let's turn our
activate.
camera on here.
Turn camera off.
Good.
Button.
Got
Double
our
tap to
camera on.
activate.
I'm going to point it at a piece of paper here.
Forward 100 Association Years AUGI creates possibility, analogy in education, innovative technology, L and home T and the assistive people with vision read. Right.
So I
Watch
find this
E
to
for people
be
with bears.
not
Vision S and other.
really,
Signed in as Cory Ballard C Knox 78.
You know, you
at
wouldn't really use this to read
Account
a
and settings.
document, right? This
Double
is
tap
more
to activate.
identification.
Yes.
I now have identified that this is a flyer about our technology and education center. Or you could use it to identify potentially a food label or some mail. So the short text is really more for real quick reads or identification purposes. And we'll talk about the document option in just a moment. That's really going to be more geared to reading an entire document. Now, I also wanted to try, if you remember, we do have some text up on the wall. Let's see if from across, so we're probably maybe 20 feet or so on an angle, kind of. Let's see if it reads anything.
Technology creates possibility read.
Hey.
Yeah, pretty close. Technology creates possibility. But obviously from that, even though it wasn't perfect, we can gather what that said
So
there.
if we're trying to find signage or something like that, probably work okay.
Yeah, I use it a lot, at least the short text feature on the iPhone for seeing it. I use it a lot on the computer. If the computer has stopped talking for whatever reason and I need to know what's going on, or if when I'm booting up, if JAWS screen reader hasn't kicked in yet, I'll use the short text feature to sort of see what's on the screen to find out if it's doing an update or whatever it might be.
Yep. The only thing that is a little bit confusing with it, I think, is it does read half words.
Yes.
You know, so then you'll hear like weird things, and obviously, like if you know it's reading half words, then you can kind of rationalize that. But it can sound a little bit strange.
Let's try it upside down.
Oh.
And just see if it makes a
Selected.
difference.
Now we're
Text.
pushing it.
Mode 3 of 5. Enlist 5 items. UUIOD Home Oil GTS. See firsthand the assistive hat allows people with vision computers. Read.
Vision
Right.
computers.
Watch D much more.
So not
A
bad.
resource for people
It
with
seems
AMELI
to be
members.
a little
Vision
less,
6. And food labels.
A little
Beta.
less
Mode 2
accurate,
of
but
5.
it still didn't really
Double tap to
matter.
activate.
It still was able to identify and see words, and you know, some OCR solutions just won't even work if it's upside down. So it is flipping it for us and doing the recognition.
Yep. I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we said that the text feature is really good for identification, but let's say I actually want to read this entire document top to bottom. Then we're going to move on to our next option here, and that's document.
Selected. Text. Documents. Mode. Documents.
Let's see if we
Lookout.
get a-
Documents mode. Out of list.
Get a choice here.
Point your camera at a document and Lookout reads it. The beeping sound guides you to the document. Having trouble? Hold your device vertically or use the Take Photo button to read the text and view.
Okay, so we'll talk. So we've got a couple different ways we can do it here. First of all, it's going to guide us to get this picture. It's going to tell us to move left, up, down, farther away, closer. And then when we land where it's going to be the perfect shot, it will tell us to hold still and automatically take the picture for us.
I'd like to say something about that process. I personally prefer it because instead of, like with Seeing AI, it says, for example, bottom and top right edges visible, something like that, right? But with this one, it just says, basically move to the left, move up, move further away. For me personally, I find those instructions a little bit easier to follow because it's literally telling you exactly what you need to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, fair enough.
And then we do have the opportunity, as I mentioned, when it sees the paper and it feels like the shot is confident, it'll automatically do it. But we also can swipe to the Take Picture button, and we can tell it to take a picture whenever we want. So if we get to a point where we just can't get it to auto capture, we can always do our own picture.
Not checked.
So let's go to our OK button here. Let's get our camera
Look out
going.
Documents mode.
I think our camera should be on. Let's just
change
double
language.
check.
Signed in as Cory. Turn camera off. Button.
It's on.
Can't it double tap to activate?
Right. So now I've got a piece of paper in front of me here. I'm going to hold up my camera, maybe about 18 inches or so.
Too close. Move device away. Move device towards bottom left. Towards bottom left. Too close. Move device away. Try taking a photo to scan what's in view.
You can ignore that.
Move device towards bottom right.
Bottom right.
Too close. Move device away. Move device left. Try taking a photo to scan what's in view. Move left.
Okay, moving left.
Too close. Move device away. Too close. Move away.
I'm doing it sitting down, which is always really difficult.
Try taking a photo to scan what's in view. Move away. Move away.
Okay, moving.
Move device right. Google. Tap to dismiss assistant.
Oh.
Double tap to activate.
I hit the button on the side.
Tap to dismiss. Tap to dismiss.
I don't know how I did that.
Button on the side I. Button on the side I. Tap to dismiss assist. Button on the side I don't know how it. On the side I don't know how.
I'm gonna try to
Look out
stand up,
documents
but I don't know
mode.
how much
Turn camera off. Button. Double tap to activate.
This is a good example
Too close.
of the
Move device
difficulties of
away.
trying to do this
Move
type
device
of thing.
towards bottom left. Try taking a photo to scan what's in view. Too close. Move device away. Too close. Move away. Move away. Hold still.
Hey.
Wow, that was
Scan
much
item
higher
details.
than I expected.
Close details.
That was closer to almost 2.5
Double tap to
feet,
activate.
probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a lot higher than I expected.
I do like doing this stuff live, though, even though it's really difficult for you, just because it does highlight, some of the challenges. Now, this is why traditional OCR devices exist, because smartphones are great for doing this stuff too, but you've really got to Cory is a very skilled technology user, and even he, will struggle with things like this every now and again.
Yeah, and those stands are great. If you're going to really be if you're going to be using your mobile device for any kind of scanning like this, more than just a little bit here, a little bit there, it's definitely recommended to grab a scanning stand so that your phone camera is always at the right position.
Exactly.
It makes life a lot easier.
And you can get cardboard stands for not too much money that you can fold out and just put the phone on and put the document on.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Okay, so we got it to take the picture. Now, at any point there, if I was getting frustrated, I could have swiped and found the Take Picture button, and probably would have gotten pretty good results. Would be my guess. May not have been exactly perfect. So don't, if there gets a point where you just cannot get it to trigger a picture, just try it, see what you get. Might be good enough. If not, then you may need to kind of start back over and really try to take some time. And the more you use it, the better you're going to get. Now I've learned, okay, it really wants it to be much higher than I expected.
Right.
So next time I do it, I would start a lot higher.
And I wonder if that would depend on the camera of the device as well,
I sure would think so. The amount, I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we've gotten our picture. Now let's just use our swipe gesture. Let's see what we've got here.
Share button.
So we can share it.
Delete item button.
We can go ahead and delete
Double
this
tap to activate.
picture, this OCR results if we want to.
Vision Forward 100 Technology
Here we go.
creates possibility. Years Association Vision Forward's Technology and Education Center, TEC, features innovative technology in real-life work, school and home environments. See firsthand the assistive technology that allows people with vision loss to use computers.
So that's pretty darn accurate.
It really is.
Yeah, it did a great job. Now, one thing we can do now is we can use some of our talkback gestures and go through this a little bit more granular. I had granularity.
I was going to go with granularly.
Granularly. So if I go ahead and
paragraphs,
let's do
lines, words.
If I go words, I can
Swipe
just
up or
swipe down.
Vision 4 100 create, possibility, years, associate, vision, forward, technology, and education.
And I could go to characters.
Characters. New capital C-E-N-T-E-R space.
So I do have the ability now to get a little bit more information, unlike in the text mode where you're just getting text read out to you and you can't ask, you can't have it spelled out to you. So the OCR could be great, like phone numbers, where you want to look at it digit by digit versus just kind of sort of hearing
check
it.
spelling or something.
Exactly, exactly. So
I think, and tell me if you don't think this is accurate, Cory, but I think that this has got some of the most accurate app OCR out there. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like with other apps, it seems from my experience with them to be pretty common where even just at the top you'll get like 111 exclamation A, B, C, D, D, D.
Sure.
Or like just random strings of characters before it actually gets to, especially here because we're doing a white document
really
on a white table, right?
Bad contrast,
so, yeah, but it's very, and every time I've used it, it's been very accurate in being able to extract all the text. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's doing a great job, especially, I think the biggest, we've used this exact table with a white piece of paper, and we've gotten pretty poor results in some of the, not poor, it eventually got to the text.
Yeah.
And you can actually go back on our YouTube channel and take a look at some of our OCR apps we've done. Voice Stream, Scanner by Voice Stream, Envision AI, Seeing AI, and you'll actually see where you're getting some gibberish at the top, and I think that is some of that color table and just that poor contrast.
Exactly.
This does a really good job of either just that not happening, or it is happening and it recognizes that that's gibberish and is just excluding it from the results.
Right,
I'm not sure, but I would agree with you. It does a darn good job.
Seems to be pretty good.
All right,
Close
so now I'm going to
details
go up in the
button.
top left. We have a close details button. We'll just get rid of this and come back
Look out
to our,
documents
kind of our
mode.
main
Turn
screen
camera
here.
off.
Now I'm going to turn our camera off
on.
just so it just
Button.
keeps
Double
doesn't
tap
keep
to
talking
activate.
to us. All right, so that is our document mode. That's going
Excellent.
to allow us to, as we saw, take a picture of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And
No,
have it read
that doesn't
to us.
have all of the
Selected
features
documents.
of, KNFB
Forward
Reader for
5
all
in
the
list
one-step
5
reader
items.
now called,
Correct,
for example.
correct, yeah.
But then again, one step per reader is $9,900, and this is free. So,
Yeah. I don't want to say you get what you pay for, but it's almost a different tool for a different job.
Yeah.
Currency.
All right,
mode
last
5 of 5.
option in here, number
Double tap to
5.
activate.
That's currency.
Currency.
Everybody
Look out.
loves currency.
Currency mode out of list.
Thank goodness.
You only love
we
it if you
had-
have a lot of
That's
it.
true. Thank
Point your
goodness we
camera
had
at a single
currency
banknote on lookout.
in there. So
Currency
let's
mode.
take a look at our little tip here.
Point your camera at a single banknote on lookout identifies it. Lookout can't identify coins and some currencies.
Can't?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought it said, but I just want to... Can't do coins. None of them really do coins. Luckily, coins are typically tactile enough that you can tell the difference. Some currencies it won't be able to do as well. So we're going to go into our OK. All right. And
Not check. Okay.
there we go. All
Lookout
right, let's
currency
turn our
mode.
camera back on.
Change. Signed in as Cory. Turn camera on.
Cory's the man with the money today.
Double tap to activate.
But how much does he have? Let's find out.
At least $1,000 bill. All right, we got 2 bills here. Let's see what we got.
Reset. Turn camera on. Button.
All right, so
Double tap to activate.
let's turn our camera on.
Turn camera off.
Oh,
Button.
there we go. All right,
Double
I got a
tap
bill
to
here.
activate.
I'm just going to hold the bill up in one hand.
I'm excited.
Point my camera at it with the other.
$1.
Oh.
$1.
Now I'm going to flip it around and do the back.
Just in
to
case it's
see
a
if
different denomination on the other
see if
side.
maybe it's more on that. Then I'll make sure to hand it that way.
$1.
So either
$1.
side. I always like to do like how much does it need? I'm going to fold it in half.
Ooh.
The short way, just out of curiosity, and just see how much of it does it need.
$1.
Yeah, you can do it in half
That's
too.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about
Low light.
quarter?
Flashlight on. Look out.
Try that. Well, it might because it's as long as you've got a corner there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about eighths?
$1.
All right. Now let's go this. We're going down to
This is
eighths.
getting crazy now.
All right. As long as there's a corner. Oh, that's not. Oh, we lost it.
So we can have it down to what was that, quarter?
Quarters, I think we got it down to. All right.
I
so
just
that
want
was
to read
one.
this. So Amanda asks, will there be a list of these tools available afterwards? Now, I want to just read this
Flashlight
out
off.
now because at first I thought.
Low light. Flashlight
Amanda
on.
said, will there
Look
be a
out.
list of these fools available afterwards?
Oh, they're right here, Cory and Luke.
Yeah,
There's your-
that one's easy.
There's your list.
Yeah, Amanda, we have a resources page. It's vision-forward.org/Tech Talk Live. And there we have resources for all the shows. So there is a handout on Google Lookout that you'll be able to get from there. And of course, if you need anything else, you can email us. That would be
Lookout.
In focus at vision-forward.org.
$10.
How about that?
All right, we've got another bill here, so let's just try one more.
$10.
Quick.
Easy.
Other side.
$10.
Yeah. So very quick, very accurate. I indeed have a whopping $11 today.
Amanda very kindly says, awesome, thanks, not fools. Congratulations on your $11, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll buy lunch.
Cory, so we're running out of time here.
Oh, all right, let's do
So I have a question for you. Would you prefer to cover the Blindshell or look at the other apps? I think probably Blindshell, right?
Well, I think let's keep with the Google Look. Well, I don't know. Does it matter?
Let's
do a quick vote. Do you want to see Google Lookout on the Blindshell, or do you want to see SuperSense or Envision AI? You have 30 seconds to get your vote in.
Less than 30 seconds. Whoever answers first.
Yeah, whoever answers first
is
gets
the one
to decide.
who gets what they want. So let's see.
I'm just kidding.
If nobody answers, then I don't know what we're going to do at that point.
Well, we'll make our decision. We'll be adults and make a decision.
That sounds really hard. Let me just borrow this a second. Just for those who do not know what the Blindshell is, I will hold it up to the camera here. Now, we did cover this in a show previously. Somebody's answered SuperSense, by the way, so I guess we're going that way.
Okay.
We did. This is actually really cool. We're getting that, that depth of field effect because I'm holding the phone up to the camera, so it's focusing on the
flashlight
phone.
Off.
Kind of blurry
Look
in the
out.
background.
Pixel launcher.
Cool looking, but,
Home. Actions
anyway,
available. Use tap
this
with
is
3
the
fingers to
phone.
view.
For those who are able to see it, it is a feature phone with tactile buttons, and it's running on Android. Now, it runs the SuperSense app. Seems though we're not going to look at it right now.
Google Lookout.
The Google Lookout app. Seems though we're not going to look at it right now. I will just say quickly, it works surprisingly well. I assume that the camera in this is way less resolution than the phone that we've just been looking at, but it does work surprisingly well on the Blindshell, and you only need 3 buttons to operate it. There's an up button, a down button, and an OK button. So in terms of operation, pretty straightforward, and I would say it works basically as well as what we were just looking at.
And it looks identical. The only difference is rather than on a touchscreen swiping right and left, you just up and down arrow, but the app layout is exactly the same. You'll see the turn camera on button. You'll see the options going across the bottom. So it is the same app. You're just using the tactile up and down buttons.
Exactly. All right, so somebody else did say Envision AI, so we'll see what we've got time for here because we only have 5 minutes. But basically, these apps, they are similar in terms of
app suggestions.
Now,
search your
I think
phone
the
and
most
more.
interesting
Calendar.
thing to compare here is how easy they are to use in the document mode and how accurate those results are. Because I would have thought that would probably be the most important function for most people.
Envision AI came first on the
Envision
list,
AI.
so we're going to
magnifier.
So Cory, document mode. Should we give that a try
you want to do that first?
each app if we've got time?
Sure,
Well, let's just try that one. I think on each app if we have
Flashlight.
time here.
Read preference. Instant text. Scan text.
So
Capture a document.
Scan text.
Single scan. Capture a single page or document. The new scan. Close. But the new scan feature. Heading. Welcome to the new scan text
just do our
feature.
little demo
We've
here.
combined the read multiple pages and document text features to make it easier to scan a single page or multiple pages of a document. Our scan function allows you to scan printed text as well as handwritten text. We'll show you how to use this feature in a few short steps. First step, single scan.
First step,
button.
single scan.
Yes.
Double tap.
Yeah, let's do that. No, I think
By default, single scan is selected, which allows you to last previous application.
Button at the top left corner.
Close.
We're gonna do
But
that. Let's go at it. We're going to
Envision
pretend
AI.
like we know what we're
Are
doing.
you
right?
close on?
Well,
Are you
it's
sure
easy.
you don't want to get to know more about
I'm
cancel?
sure. Don't
But
tell
I'm
me.
sure. But
I'm sure, man.
Envision AI. Flashlight.
Okay,
Off.
let's make
Scan
sure
text
we're on.
preferences.
Yep,
Button.
okay.
Selected. Single scan.
Scan
Capture a
status.
single page
Yep,
or
so
document.
We've chosen
Button.
the single scan.
Double
Camera's
tap to
live.
activate.
Let's try. I'm going to stand up. Let's see if we can
Good
get
luck.
it to do some auto for us. Now we'll hold our page. I don't know.
Nada.
Batch scan.
So I'm
Back.
gonna
Button.
Maybe we have
Take
to choose
photo.
single scan.
Single scan selected. Button.
It says select.
Double tap
I'm
to
gonna
activate.
Take my picture here.
Process. Navigate up. Button. Document reader. Reader settings.
There was no
Document reader.
feedback there, though.
Navigate up.
There was a
Button.
settings,
Double
scanning
tap to activate.
settings that we just
Vision
didn't go
forward
into. I think you
100.
can turn it
Years.
off.
Yeah, okay.
Association.
So now it's reading it to us.
Technology creates possibility. Ahaha is truly blimey. Vision Forward's Technology and Education Center, TEC, features innovative technology in real-life work, school and home environments. See firsthand the assistive technology that allows people with vision loss to use computers.
So we don't get the feedback.
Watch television. Vision Forward 100. Vision Forward's navigate up. But Vision Forward's single scan. Capture a single page or document. Magnifier. But no edge. Double tap to activate. No edge is visible.
Something like that, which is kind of cool.
No edge is visible.
It actually did a pretty darn good job.
Now it's
no
saying
edge is visible.
Okay,
Let's try
so
it
now
again.
we've got our feedback here.
No edge is visible. Move away from the document.
Okay.
Move bottom left.
Move bottom. This has got the same kind
All
of
edges visible.
same
Hold
kind
steady.
Of, direction. Nice.
Navigate up. Button.
Very
Document
good.
reader. Reader settings.
the first time.
Navigate up.
Sure,
Button.
sure.
Vision.
go.
Document
Let's see if
reader.
it's any better.
Reader settings. Document reader. Vision Forward 100. Comma. Enlist. Vision Forward 100. Association. Years. Technology creates possibility. Vision Forward's Technology and Education Center,
I will say visually,
features
I
innovative
can see
technology
a
in
bit
real
further
life
down here, it
work,
says,
school and home
it's
environments.
truly
See firsthand
Mulan.
the assistive technology that allows people with vision loss to use computers.
Anything it can't recognize, it just says,
Watch television, navigate
That's
up,
funny.
but vision, single
So pretty
scan,
good.
capture a single page
so
or
the
document.
directions were very
Flashlight,
similar
no edges
to
visible.
the Google Lookout.
No
and
edges
it,
visible.
Did a good job with the OCR there. I was actually
No
kind
edges
of impressed
visible.
with that.
Now,
Magnifier.
remember-
Flash. No, scan
let me see
text.
if I can,
Flashlight. Off. No, scan text. Selected. No batch scan. Back. But no take photo. Back. No edges. Magnifier. Button.
good.
No edge. Double tap to activate.
Now
no
remember,
edges
there's
visible.
a little difference here, though. We're going from a free app to I think yearly or yearly. I think is $15.
Okay. So
maybe that's monthly.
bit of payment there.
So there is a pay. Yeah, no, I think it was yearly that they had a deal going. It was yearly for $13. So not a bad price. I mean, you're getting, but you are, you are having to pay.
There is multi-page scanning with this one, though, which we don't have with the Google Lookout. So that, depending on what you need it for, that might be important.
You also have
Identify.
magnification.
Yep.
You also get identify. Now this one's a little bit different.
Identify.
So
Tab.
this one.
Identify.
Unlike
Selected.
the environment, this one we can choose a specific
Find.
thing.
Tab.
So we
3
want to
of 5.
find something.
Scan find tab.
And let's
Glasses.
choose.
Tab. 4 of 5. Selected. Find. Identify. Tab.
Oh, wait,
Two.
I wanted to
Identify. So.
Now, can I choose? Usually
Find.
it'll let me.
Glasses. Settings. Tab. Applications are using your camera.
Yeah, they must have. It was.
Setting.
You could
Glasses.
choose.
Find. Selected.
So you have your glasses,
Read.
but-
Tab. 1.
Oh, there's
Selected.
identify.
Tab. 2 of 5.
No, it's not doing it.
Find. Tab. Glasses. Tab.
Okay.
Settings.
I will say we do have a
Applications are
video of
using your
this on
camera.
our-
Out of
on our
list.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's weird. It
Describe
doesn't-
scene.
Yeah, I don't see the
Oh, there we
options.
go.
Detect call. Describe.
Describe
Detect
scene.
call. Scan barcode.
There
Get
we go.
magnifier. Button.
now
No, those are the different
Flashlight.
features, though.
Off.
Yeah, it's
Read
so
preferences.
usually
Button.
identify should
Read
give us
tab.
an
1.
option
Selected.
to
Identify.
choose something that we
tab.
wanna
Yeah,
2
you
of
can
5.
choose what you want. Dog, whatever. We use dog in our video.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm not getting.
Find.
Let me just do.
Selected.
Maybe it's in find instead. I don't think it's here. Though.
Glasses. Tab.
same
Setting.
thing again.
Applications are using.
Yeah.
Find
weird.
people. Detects
Oh,
if
there
there
we
are
go.
people. Find people.
Find people.
Finding objects.
Find objects.
Finding
That's cool.
objects.
So let's
A
do
beep
that.
will indicate when the objects list.
So let's find. Here's our object
Favorites.
list.
In list. All objects.
So let's do.
Backpack. All back. Add to favorites. Bed. Add to
There's any
bench.
beds in here?
I'm trying to
Add
see
to
if we're.
bicycle.
I know. I'm trying to see if
Add
there's
to
something.
bird.
A bird?
Add, request a call.
Probably not.
Add to bottle. Add to favorite bowl.
There's a boat.
Add to
in here.
favorite
Yeah, we
bus.
should use that.
Add
Bus?
car.
There's no
Add
bus, no
cat.
car.
Add
Come on.
chair. Add clock.
Oh, here we
Add
go.
chair.
Chair.
Finding a chair.
Okay.
Scan find tab fragment. Find people. Detects if there are people around you. You will hear an alert when a person is detected that appears in front of the camera. Out of list. Finding people. Selected.
Oh.
Double tap to activate.
No
chair?
people so far.
I don't want people. I want a chair.
No, you chose people.
No, I chose
Finding
chair.
objects.
Oh,
I
don't know.
did.
Selected.
For some reason, it
Find
thought you wanted
people.
Oh,
people.
now I
looking-
want to people.
Application.
Didn't. Okay.
Selected. Finding objects.
Finding object.
Finding object.
I
Request a
feel
call.
like
Add
I'm
bottle.
bottle.
Add bowl. Add butt. Add car. Add cat. Add chair.
There. Chair. Chair.
Scan find tab fragment. Finding selected. Find people.
then
When
find
looking around.
people.
Finding objects.
is
Loc-
going on?
Finding
That's a weird- okay,
car.
one more time
In-
and then I'm
add
done.
cat. Add chair.
Okay. Chair.
Double tap to activate.
Double tap.
Finding a chair.
There we
Scan find tab fragment. Find people. Detects if there are people around you. You will hear an alert when a person is detected that appears in front of the camera. Out of list. Double tap to activate.
Chairs. I will just tell the audience there are a lot of chairs
There's a
where
lot
Cory
of
is pointing
chairs.
his camera right now.
Selected. Finding objects. A beep will indicate TEC Envision.
Yeah.
Double tap
I
track
think I have to teach
magnifier.
you.
But Read preferences.
It does not want to do it.
Double tap to activate.
No chairs for you today.
Finding a chair.
Yeah, I am finding a
Read
chair.
tab. 1 of 5. Enlist 5 items.
How about if I pointed at the chair
Double
I'm
tap to
sitting in?
activate.
All right, well...
Which is weird, because when I used it on iOS, it worked quite well. So I'm not sure why it does not want to identify a chair. Now, I mean, there are many chairs, except unless it's thinking, these desk chairs are not the kind of chair it's thinking, if it's like a big sofa chair, but I don't know what the difference would be.
Well, this is the excitement of live demonstrations.
Yeah.
I am sad to say that we are out of time here, so I guess we'll have to leave it there. Kenneth, I'm sorry that you are not able to understand our voices and the phone at the same time. Unfortunately, this is one of the things with doing live shows. Sometimes, you know, there's just things that you run into that you just have to deal with. So
we do try our best not to talk over the phone. In this case, though, when this app is being quite chatty, we recognize that. And thank you for the feedback. But you're right. Sometimes it's just hard. Sometimes it's hard to manage everything.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. So that was a couple of apps there. Now, we didn't get around to taking a look at the SuperSense app, but I will say in our experience, SuperSense isn't so great in terms of the OCR. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
we had a bit of trouble with it.
That was iPhone based, and it was 8 months to a year ago, maybe.
That's very true.
So I guarantee it's. Oh, I shouldn't say guarantee. I hope it's a little bit better now. I know a number of people who do use it and have great luck with it. So it could have easily been user error.
Fair enough. Okay. But anyway, yes, there are a number of good options available then. But Google Lookout is free.
Yeah.
And it's on Android. And, Seeing AI, which is very popular, is not on Android. So this is a good alternative. I think hopefully we've demonstrated that it works pretty well. Now, Cory was using, a good quality phone here. But, so, I mean, you can download it for your own phone and see how well it works. It is going to depend somewhat on the camera, I would imagine, and the processing power. But it certainly seems to be a very decent app for what it does.
Yeah, and being a free app, you have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, exactly, yeah. So give it a try if you've got a Blindshell Classic 2 or you're thinking about getting one, and you think the app looks cool, then it does work pretty well on there as well. All right, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and in 2 weeks' time, we are going to be joined by special guest Barry Asman. Now, Barry not only has taken over support and sales for the Blindshell in the US, but he also carries, and I think he's the only carrier at the moment in the US, the Oxsight Onyx. And this is a wearable device. Now, we haven't looked at this one before. I'm quite excited. It's only I say, $1,800. So
pretty cheap compared to all the other.
Compared to the other ones, the price is a lot lower. But the question is, do you get what you pay for when it comes to this device? And that's what we're going to find out. Now, normally we would be doing this remotely because, when we have a guest on, we normally do them remotely. But actually, Barry decided he wanted to come and visit us in
I would
Milwaukee.
too. Yeah.
I don't know if he just wanted a vacation or what, but he decided to come visit us. So we are going to have both ourselves and Barry live on the show next time, and I'm quite excited. So we'll have a bit of a different setup so we can get him in as well. So that's going to be really cool. Looking forward to it, and I hope you guys will enjoy that one. So do tune in at 2 weeks' time, 11 a.m. Central for that. Of course, we do have a YouTube channel if you would like to go there. It's youtube.com/InFocus Technology. You will be able to see a recording of this show as well as all of the other Tech Talk live shows. And of course, some more professionally produced, no, not professionally, some other kind of more standard demonstration videos which are not done live. So those are all available on the YouTube channel. And again, for the schedule, you can visit vision-forward.org/Tech Talk Live. You will be able to get the schedule of upcoming shows as well as resources for all of the shows that we have done so far and will be doing up to the end of the year. We are so organized this year.
We really are.
It's remarkable.
Really
I don't know how we managed to do that. Yes, also, I will say that we have videos on SuperSense, so some of our kind of produced videos, we have one on SuperSense, we have one on Envision AI, we have one on Seeing AI.
Yep.
We don't have one on Google Lookout yet, but we should rectify.
We'll make one, yeah. And they are iPhone, iOS based, but really there's not a big difference. There's pretty much app layout and
layout.
similarity features is gonna be across the board.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even if you're an Android user, they will still be useful. All right, everybody, thanks again for joining us. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time, and until then, enjoy our outro theme. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us for another Tech Talk Live. If you enjoyed Cory and Luke's antics, join us again in 2 weeks. To register, visit vision-forward.org/Tech Talk Live.